Show you a fast, easy, and economical way to clean your coated garage floor. Whether you have polyurethane, epoxy, painted, polyurea, however your floor is coated, you're going to need to clean it every now and then. Mine was cleaned back in October. Now that we're through winter and spring is here, it's time to clean out all the road salt, the grit and the grime and the leaves off the garage floor. And I'm going to show you how to do that, which has worked for me for the last couple years. It's very easy to do, so keep watching and we'll get to work. Okay, so I've cleaned half of my garage floor so you guys can see what it looks like after it's cleaned. So this is the clean side. And if you come over here, this is about my halfway point right there. You can actually see how this right here is nice and clean, and then it's a little bit dirty starting about right there. Here's the dirty side. We got the leaves blown in. This is where the snow blower sits. Check all this dirt and grime out over here. Wet leaves, dry leaves, a little bit of water. And you come down over here, you can start to see some of the road salt and the grime off of the car. And come up here, you got a couple oil spots from car drippage. So that's the dirty side. So I'm going to show you the method I use, how to clean it. Now my garage is about 22 by 24. Takes me about 40 minutes to clean the entire floor. Now that includes moving the toolbox around, which is over there, and getting underneath some stuff. So I'm going to get the tools out, get the solution out, and I'm going to show you how I do it. Your garage has a lot of leaves in it and big debris like that. Grab your leaf blower and start at one end of your garage and blow everything out of your garage. Now I've done this before, but I can tell you from experience, don't rev up your leaf blower to full throttle. I just like to let it idle and go nice and easy. Otherwise it blows too much dust all around your garage. You can blow stuff in your eyes. Make sure you wear your safety glasses. But just let your leaf blower idle back and forth all the way out of your garage. Makes it a lot easier. Now, if you don't want to do that, you're going to need a stiff bristled brush. Now you're going to use this for the soap and to brush out the garage. So once you use your leaf blower if you want to, then I go to my stiff bristled brush. And then you're just going to sweep the garage out, not too rough. Just to kind of quickly get the heavier debris out of your garage. Just like that. You don't want to scrub real hard and scratch up the surface of your coating. Just a light brushing with this because the soap is going to do most of your work for you. So once you get all the heavy debris out of your garage with whatever method you're using, then we're going to go on to the soap. Now the best and safest soap I found to use on my floor is Simple Green. It's recommended by the guy that coated my floor. I know a couple other guys that have epoxy coated floors and they use the same thing. And you can get this, it's about a gallon at Home Depot for about $8. Now I mix a half a cup of Simple Green to 1 gallon of water. I use a 1.5 gallon pail. Now what I think makes the biggest difference to me is I'll either go to the sink or the bathtub, go full hot water, as hot as water you can get out of your faucets, fill this up, and that's what seems to work the best. It seems to work way better than cold water. So the hottest water you can get, about a half a cup to 1 gallon, and we'll get going on scrubbing. You want to mix all of this around. You don't just want to shove it all the way to the end of your garage. And when you get up to a wall, don't go like this. When you get up to a wall, you want to go back and forth, because if you go like this and you hit something, you can flick the dirty water on your wall. So I just do a swirling motion. And then I'll also go back and forth. As long as you stay away from your wall about a foot, I go back and forth this way as well. Now you're going to want to do that through the whole third. And once you've made it all the way to the end, come back to the beginning and then start pushing the water out. Now here's what you want to see. You see how all the suds are very, very dirty? That's because the soap is doing its job and it's lifting the dirt. The dirt gets suspended in the suds and then you push it out your driveway. So once you have everything scrubbed down really good, now it's time to shove all that water out your driveway. Now that you've done that, you might think you're done. But remember when I only put down half of the bucket of soap in the beginning? Now that you've got all this scrubbed and you've got most of this dirty soap out towards your driveway, it's trying to use the other half of your bucket to put down the clean water and soap again. Now we're going to do this process all over again one more time. And remember, this is the other half of the clean soap and water. Now we're going to scrub the whole thing down again and then push it all out to the end of the driveway. So you're going to want to clean and scrub this until you see that your suds are nice and clean. So if your suds are still brown and dirty, that means it's still lifting dirt off the floor. Now usually it only takes me, 2 good scrubbings like I showed you, and your suds are pretty clean. So once your suds are clean, you're going to get a squeegee, and then well, here's the squeegee I use. It's a 24-inch. It's just solid rubber on the one end, nothing real fancy. About 15 bucks at your local hardware store. And now we're going to use this to squeegee out all the water. Happy with the amount of dirt that came off your floor with using the soap. Like I said, your suds should be fairly clean. Now you're ready to rinse your floor. Fill your bucket back up again with hot water. Like I said, this is 1.5 gallons. I do my garage in thirds. And I'm going to dump half of this clean water out all along here and just do a light scrubbing with the brush. Now just take your brush, and you're really not going to scrub. I just usually push it all the way out to the edge of the garage. And once Once you get about halfway down your garage, the water should just barely be cloudy. If it's pretty dirty, then you probably need to use your soap and scrub brush one more time. But push all this out with your brush. Now if you still have some remaining puddling of water, go ahead and use your squeegee and get that last little bit out and push it out towards your driveway. Now you're going to use that remaining half bucket of clean water just to pour on the floor and squeegee it out with no brushing this time. If you've done a good job and it's nice and clean, this water will stay clean all the way to the end of your garage floor. So I'll just take an old bath towel and just go back and forth with my foot, get it all dried up. And I can usually do half of the garage, and then I'll have to wring this out, and then it's good for the other half. Now it's important to keep it dry because let's say your kid's friend shows up, doesn't know that the garage floor is wet, come out here with your kid, somebody slips and falls. Just don't let it air dry. Try and dry it as quick as possible. Like I said, a fan, bath mat, whatever you want to use, that's your choice. Just try and get it dry, or block off your door so that nobody can go out in your garage because it's going to be a little bit slick. So that's what your floor should look like, guys. Nice and clean. And using the simple green and the method I told you, it should come out like that. So one good way to get your garage floor clean, open your Ryobi app and turn on your garage door fans. Now I specifically bought this garage door opener so that I could have fans in here. Makes it a little bit more comfortable in the summer. And also whenever I clean the garage floor, which I do about twice a year, I just turn these fans on and my floor is dry probably within about 30 minutes, especially if I wiped it up with the bath mat first. So that's all there is to it. Once your floor is dry, have your friends over, have a party out in your garage, and enjoy your garage floor. Okay, so that's going to end the video. I hope you enjoyed watching it. The most important thing I could say is using the simple green cleaner. It's not going to harm your floor no matter what kind of floor you have. And it's non-toxic, it's a great cleaner. It's the best I've used. You can use stuff that may get the dirt off a little bit better, but it's going to be too harsh, and in 20 years, that top coating of your garage floor is probably going to get ate away by it. So a squeegee, a good stiff bristle brush, some simple green, and some hot water, and your garage floor is going to be nice and clean.